One more question. So when somebody calls you up and says, I want to do this thing, self-management, what do you tell them? Like, what kind of products you offer them? How do you approach it?
Well, we explore what they're really looking for. So some organizations just want some education, maybe an overview. Maybe they have a leadership team that wants to get up to speed on what self-management is and how it might apply in their case. And so we offer master classes. So we can do a deep dive, we can do a half day, a full day, 2 days, and we can give people the experience of what it's like to be in a self-managed organization. And oftentimes we use social technologies like open space. And I liken it to NASA, the Space Administration. They put astronaut trainees up in a jet that makes a parabolic arc, and it gives future astronauts about 90 seconds of weightlessness, so they actually can feel what it's like to be in outer space for a short period of time, and that's kind of the experience we offer. So people can experience what it's like, which is a very different feeling from being in a command and control organization. So yeah, short master classes, often using these social technologies. But then if an organization wants to actually transform and transition from traditional management state to a more of a self-managed enterprise, we try to find out, how far they want to take that, and what roles and responsibilities they envision in this new state, and how extensive the change should be. Often it's much better to transform a department or a division or a business unit or a single team and experiment and find out what you can learn from that process in order to extend it to other parts of the business. So, we find out all those questions, and then we work side by side with organizations to implement that transition. And it really starts oftentimes with the social technologies and the experiential aspect. But then it gets very much into developing the infrastructure that replaces traditional management. That has a lot to do with agreements between peers, where people voluntarily assume personal missions and process accountabilities and stewardships and negotiated decision rights and identifying KPIs, because in a self-managed enterprise, you have to be able to tell yourself about your performance. You wouldn't have a boss walking around telling you if you're doing a good job or not. So we have to develop infrastructure that allows the business to coordinate and communicate and effectively deliver its products and services in the absence of traditional management. That's the kind of the heavy, important, negotiated part of the work that takes place. And when we come out the other side, we like to have a celebration, because whatever that business unit or team or work group or a department has accomplished, it's taken some work. Yeah. And we want to make sure we celebrate that and set them on a path to success that we can then monitor in the future.
That makes sense. It can be a lot of work, but phenomenally rewarding. No, thank you. Also, I want to mention that you have a book called Beyond Empowerment, and I'll put the link up at the top for sure. And I'll put your contact details, or at least link to your LinkedIn page so people can contact you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Vitaly. My pleasure.